So this is a technical video, which is an introduction to how to use the Pixo Junior lamp, which is the lamp that we're going to use this week as an introduction to character animation. The first thing we need to do is go and find the lamp. And here is Pixo Junior. He's at creativecrash.com. You'll have to register and then download the rig. And if we click on the rig here, where is it? Actually, if I just type in Pixo here, you'll see how the search function works, I should say. And here it is, Pixo Junior, and created by Amrit Dergarwin, Alex Crouch, copyright 2006. You can see it's kind of an old rig, and there are some things we're going to have to do to it to make it work in Maya 2016. But it's a great little rig, and it's highly recommended. So go ahead and download it. And then let's import it into our shot. The first thing we need to do, of course, as we always do, is to create a project and set to it. So I'm going to go File, Project Window, New, Pixo. Actually, I'll call it, Pixo. No, I'm going to call this Lamp _Nov 2016 to distinguish it from my other lamp projects. I've got quite a few. Accept. And then I'm going to set to that project, File, Set Project. This is going to pull up a ton of projects here. That's because I've got loads. So let's go and find Lamp. There we go, Lamp, November 2016, set. Now let's go and grab the rig and drop it in our folder. So the first thing we're going to do is, I'm in Windows 7, so I'm going to go to the Start menu, bottom left-hand corner of my screen. You can't see it, but I'm assuming you have basic Windows knowledge. Documents. Maya, projects. Let's scroll down to lamp. Lamp hop. There we go. Sorry, no, it's the wrong one. Lamp, November 2016. And let's find it here. So now here's our project. This is the one we've just created. And if I double click in scenes, I'll find my scenes, of which right now there are none. So let's go and find the lamp and drop it into the scenes folder. The lamp will appear in your downloads folder. I've already downloaded it, copied it to my desktop. So what I need to do is drag it from my desktop or my downloads folder into the scenes folder here. So I'm just going to drag it. There it is, Pixo Junior 2.0. That's my lamp. I can now minimize that and go File, Import, to get it into my shot, Pixar Junior, and it will now import into the shot. Now, there is a helpful blog post on how to use this rig, and the reason we need it is because there's some things about this rig that don't work well in Maya 2016, and I will show you what those things are. So if you go to the Animation Apprentice blog, and if we search this blog for lamp, we should find here it is, Meet Pixo Junior, the animator's favorite lamp. And you'll find all kinds of information on how to use this, and I highly recommend that you read this. It tells you how to turn the light on. Now, this is the most important thing. I opened Pixo in Maya 2016, and he doesn't work. So now this is to do with some stuff to do with rigs. I'm not going to go into the technical side of it here, but we can fix it by going into Windows, Settings and Preferences. So that's back in here, Windows, Settings, Preferences. Let's just find that so we remind ourselves what we're doing. Windows, Settings, Preferences, Preferences. Windows, Settings, Preferences, Preferences. There we go. And back to the blog post. So what we need to do is Settings, Animation category, change the drop-down menu for evaluation mode from parallel to the older mode DG. So, where is it? There we go, settings, animation. Right, so instead of parallel, you want this set to DG, and then click save. And you should be fine. While we're in the settings, by the way, you can reach settings through here for this little interesting icon of an orange man being chased by a giant wheel. You always want to make sure that your playback speed in Maya is set to 24 frames per second. And for now, under animation, we want our tangents to be set to spline. So make sure those things are done as well. So I'm going to save that. And now we're ready to take a look at our rig. Now, of course, we should save our work. So let's go File, Save Scene As. And if we've set our project correctly, we should find that we've got that it defaults directly to LAMP Nov 2016, which is the project I created. So I'm going to call this LAMP Hop _ version 1, and it should save it there. Good. So it's saved my work. So now let me just take you through the rig. I'll show you what it does, the main things. At the base here, this is the world control. It's called the character control, but we call it the world control because, or sometimes the global control, because it moves everything. We are not going to use this control in the beginning, although we will come back to it later. The main controls that we need are the base control here, which moves the base of the lamp. We can move it up and down. Whoops. Oh, and also the head control here, which moves the head of the lamp. And those are the two basic controls. We can rotate it, we can translate it, and so on. And the lamp is a nice, simple rig. We've essentially got two controls. And we've got another control over here, which is a pole vector. And if I press W on my keyboard, you can see that what it does is it animates the elbow of the rig. And you might just move that to get it out of the way. So that allows us to give his joint, his elbow joint there, a little bit of a wiggle. The other controls we really don't need. The rest of the stuff is to do with turning on the lamp and so on. Do have a look at the blog post. It goes into this in a bit more detail. Some other things we need to do to set up our shot. We must make sure that Select Surface Objects is turned off so we don't mistakenly select any geometry. And under the Show button here, I want to show None, and then just selectively turn on polygons, NURBS surfaces, because the head of the lamp is a NURBS surface, and NURBS curves, which brings our control curves back. We don't want anything else. We don't need anything else at this stage. Another thing we want to do is get ready for animation by making sure that we're in the correct animation view. So I'm going to go to Windows, Saved Layouts, and the one we want is, Windows View Arrangement, 3 panes split top. There we go. And I'm going to go Panels, Perspective, Perspective. Here I'm going to go Panels, Orthographic Side, like that. And down here I want the Graph Editor. So I'm going to go Panel, Graph Editor. And that gives me the 3 things that I want. I've now unfortunately got to go and do what I just did again. Show None, show NURBS curves, because I should have done this before. Polygons and NURBS surfaces. There we go. I've turned everything back on. And that's it. Apart from over here in the orthographic side view, we want the view cube. So let's make sure that the view cube is turned on. Display, heads up display, view cube. Okay, it is turned on. So, and it's not showing up, which means we may need to go into Renderer and go to Legacy Default Viewport. Okay, and now the view cube is turning up. This is just a bug in Maya 2016. And if I click on that, we can then make the lamp face left, or rather face right. And we want the lamp facing right because the thumbnails are animated from left to right. So it really helps from a kind of from the point of view of animating, if the character rig is facing the same direction as the thumbnails. It will just make life easier. So this is a standard animator setup, and we could go ahead and save this by going Windows, Save Current Layout, and call it Animation. I've already got it saved, so I'm not going to click OK, but that's just to show you how it's done. And now that we've done that, we can go File, Increment, and Save. But we're pretty much now ready to animate. So now that we've got our rig, we've found our rig, we've imported it into our shot, we've figured out how it works, test driven it a little bit, moved it around, set our shot up, saved our layouts. Now we're ready to animate. So let's go ahead and do that.